Hey, Aaron,
Yeah, hi.
how are you?
Oh, I'm great.
Hey,
For
thanks
ha-
for making the time out to chat with us today, mainly because, oh, I really want to talk about this movie. I really want to talk about Manbaby. So if you're ready, we just start now.
Great, let's go. I love talking about this movie.
All right. I gotta do this. Aaron, before we do anything, I'm not sure if you know about my podcast or anything, but before we do anything, we got to do that over the top intro for every guest that we have on here. We're so grateful to have you guys. So if you don't mind, can I do my thing?
Do you think?
My next guest is an actor, director, producer. You know him from roles in 14th and Forever, Muck City, Present Company Excluded, and Ted K. He is currently directing and starring in his latest project, Manbaby. He is making the rounds from festival to festival, but carved out some time for us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Aaron Murtagh. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Aaron,
So excited to be here, Sam.
man, okay. Let's just start right here. I'm gonna give you the hack question up front, and then I'm coming with that overhand right. How are the festivals treating you?
Great. Oh my gosh. I mean, we just started over here at Dances with Films in New York. I was out all night on Wednesday night. I'm gonna get off here with you and head down to Union Square and see some movies and meet people. It's awesome.
Here come the overhand right. Yo, what was that I just watched? I watched that short like 3 different times. It had 3 different reactions. Manbaby. Okay, look. Hey, I rocked the ring. I got a kid. So I understand what it is to be a father. But that is like being a dad is one of the most loving, enjoyable experiences I ever have. Just as a whole, me as a man, like, you know how people talk about their job first when they say, hey, tell me about yourself. Well, I work here. No, I'm a dad. What made you take that beautiful response and made a psychological thriller out of
Sam, my daughter is gonna turn 4 in February. So like right now, if you ask me, I would say the same thing that you're saying. It's so cool. It's so loving. It's so magical to be around her and to watch her grow up. And I remember when my wife was pregnant, that's all anybody says to you is congratulations and oh, it's so wonderful. This is the best thing that's happening. But, you know, my wife was really uncomfortable most of her pregnancy. It was kind of hard to watch I felt so helpless while she was pregnant. There wasn't really that much that I could do. And then when my daughter was born, like 3 weeks before the pandemic, we were living here in New York. So all of a sudden, we were just kind of trapped at home with a newborn. We were doing all our doctor visits on Zoom, and they were just kind of asking us, like, do you have a scale at your house? Weigh the baby. Tell me how, does it seem like the baby's okay? So I think that just heightened this already kind of isolating experience and made it in that moment feel more scary to me. It made me feel like I had no idea what I was doing, and that probably, I mean, to me, a baby makes you feel like you're doing things wrong.
yeah,
And that just seemed like such a contrast to how most people with kids kind of reacted to us being pregnant. Um, and that seemed like great material for just kind of a scary movie.
man, I watched that movie and I do get it because you are right. There are no direct answers about being a parent because it's like I don't know, I don't give you ice cream one day. I got a president or Hitler. I don't know. It's just like every decision has some like weird chain reaction. But yo, I watched this movie and to make it a side and I am picking my words very carefully not to ruin the movie because I need people to have these same conversations. But there's some things in my second viewing of it, right? My wife jumped in the room. I said, hey, I need like I'm getting my questions ready for this interview. And I was like, I'm gonna need some help with this one because I don't know what the hell I just watched. I said, hey, do you got a few minutes? Come here. And there's a part in there where you and the missus have to have a little grown-up time. You finally get the kid to sleep, and then things happen. Let's just put it like that. And I'm like, yo, all right. She would be remiss if I did not ask that question. Was that necessary? I mean, like we all had that feeling before, but to visually see it, you're like, okay, all right, yeah. Podcast with a bullet, whatever he wants, we got to talk about that.
I thought that was an opportunity to use some really interesting coverage that I thought made it still kind of fit into this subtle. The film basically has a fairly subtle tone to it. Without giving too much away, that also was.
It's hard not to talk about it at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
No pun intended.
I can tell you a little more about the woman whose baby is in the movie. Sierra is our makeup artist, and she's flying today from Montana to come out here to New York for the festival. She worked with this prosthetics guy in Livingston, Montana, to make this piece that then they had to put on me.
Yep.
And it was like, it was scripted that way. It was in the script, but how we were actually going to do it, I just had really no idea. I've never done that kind of work. I've never really been around a makeup artist doing prosthetics. I've never done that as an actor before. It was so like unknown. We only had 2 days really to shoot. We tried it, we made it work, and we got that shot. They had to like rig this whole thing up in the ceiling in the bathroom to mount the camera above me. And, anyways, without giving all of that away.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work for roughly 4 seconds, but it's so worth it.
So I got to ask you, Sam, because I thought I was writing a really scary movie. I love scary movies, but I feel like so many people have watched the movie and think it's so funny. And we even kind of in the edit leaned into where there were places that it was really funny. And that shot, actually, most women who watch the movie laugh. Like they say that's laugh out loud funny.
Okay, for the record, I want to make this plain. It is scary. Look, as a guy, hey, I'm raising my hand. That was scary. That scared the hell out. That woke me up. No coffee needed. Like, I'm up now, because there's a piece of you that says this. Oh shit, that can happen. And there's another. So yeah, you boggle the line. It's scary the first time, but every additional time it gets a little bit funnier, a little bit funnier, a little bit funnier. Now my wife the other way around. Oh my God, give them all the awards for best comedy of the year. At first, but then she watched it with me the third time. They're like, all right, really, we got to be all serious. We got to be serious journalists here. So then it got less funny. And it was just like, whoa. What if that happened to you? I'm like, yeah, I know. So there's this like weird midway point where it is like scary. Like, and without giving too much away, the store scene. When you go to the store, that was frightening for her. You tapped in something where it was like, yo, I really believe that happened. And quite honestly, that has never personally happened to me. But the thought of it can happening, that is frightening. Especially, when you were a new dad, because at the end of the day, you don't know anything. So as a new dad, that scene, that store scene, to make it a little bit more specific, when you get back in the truck.
When he gets in the truck, yeah.
Yes, that part. So yeah, that scared. She's still scared about that.
Sam, I think the other thing is like, there's a big part of the transition from before you have a kid to after you have a kid. The At least, for me, as I'm an artist, I went to film school. I was in a period of my life where I'm just thinking so much about myself or like my wife's work. How are we building our careers? Are we doing it the right way? Should we be in Montana? Should we be in New York? Like there's so much we live in a pretty individualistic culture. But when you have a baby, all of a sudden, I can't believe how much time I spend thinking about this kid. Like I didn't realize I had that much time to think about anything. And so that scene to me is really just kind of about that change in your headspace. And it is amazing. Like I think it's great now that I have this person that I can think about almost all the time that always is a source of joy, essentially. But what a huge change from, being just a married person or a single person, a
Oh, it's
childless person.
because the rules go out the window. I don't care what agreements you and your wife have. During the process of that child's life, um, you have this living reminder that says, I can't die. That's just what it is. I can't die. So I need you to hit 18, at least 18 before I can even think about checking out. So yeah, so if I got this motivation, I got this battery in my back that just says I can't die, you're going to put everything you got into that. And in a weird way, that's living. Oh my God, that may be the smartest thing I say all day. I'm glad I got that on tape. I got that. but, but what I'm saying is, it's just like seeing this project. I do have follow-up questions, and one of my follow-up questions is, without getting too deep into this, I want to take this off. You do understand you're going to have this conversation with your 4-year-old now. You're going to have this like, hey, why'd you make that? Just was I that bad, or was I this, that, and the third, or was I that good? Or, you know, you may have to have that conversation. But
She's coming. We're bringing her to the screening on Sunday.
why would you do that? I'm serious, man. There's all right, I want to say this. I don't know if you see it. I got my Detroit hat on. For a very long time, before the Lions start doing whatever they're doing, taking my kid to a Lions game is a form of child abuse. Um, Same thing with being a Jets fan. And I don't know how this movie is going to shake out. You will hear about this later. I don't think it's child abuse. I think you're going to have a conversation sooner or later.
It's in a shorts block. There's a lot of other stuff that she's going to get to see. And I also am very curious about how disruptive it'll be. But childcare is expensive, man. So
I get it. And you know what, man? I love this movie, and I'm starting to like it. It's like I'm starting to like it a little bit more. Because there is a horror movie aspect. It's a thriller. It because it even though it's a short, I've never spent this much time analyzing a short as I did this one. Good, bad, indifferent, and hats off to you for just taking this in a weird way, just something we all go through, and just putting your spin on it. I know you're doing the festivals or whatever, but will this be out for like wide release? Because I need as many eyes on this project as humanly possible, because we're talking about it. So will it be out other places or anything like that?
I don't really know what the life is going to be like. This is our world premiere here in New York with Dances with Films. Very, very cool to start off here. So I'm hoping for, we're hoping also to have as many people see the movie as possible. I'm focused just on our festival strategy right now and trying to get that community, find that audience there. That can take 1-2 years, and then definitely it'll live on, I mean, at least my Vimeo page for
Yeah.
world to find. I don't, you know, I don't know how that'll go. The idea with making the short, I got a grant from the Montana Film Office to, you know, help fund the project. All my friends came out and worked on it, but really we wanted to make the short so that we could go to the festival circuit and find more resources to make the story into a feature.
And I will make sure to put your IG on our page when we post this, mainly because I said I want as many people to, you know, have eyes on this as humanly possible. But you said something a minute ago where you talked about your friends helping out with the project, which is great. And you have a good supportive group of friends, because I'm sure it came up like, excuse me, you want us to do what? So in this project, how did they take it? It's always like something this personal. Something, I'm serious. Like when you do something this personal and have a spin on it like this, did you get the, you know, that text? Yo, nah, my man Aaron tripping. You all right? Everything's okay at home? Or did they just roll with it? How did they, because I assume that's your first viewing audience too with the finished project, right?
Yeah, yeah, they all got a link. You know, this movie is a product of this Montana film community that are, for me, I mean, the greatest joy in talking about the movie is being able to kind of share one of the greatest experiences of my, you know, working life so far, meeting these people working in Montana, getting to know everybody on film sets, working in different ways, and then having this group of people come together and just say, whatever you want to do, man, we want to support you. We want to help you out. And they all showed up for a couple days at this house in Bozeman, and we shot, and it was it was such a nice, I hope they would also agree, such a great like working experience. I was doing a play at the same time, so we had really short days because I would go from set to rehearsal. And it was like, you know, it's a pretty contained story. I think it was pretty easy, straightforward to shoot. Um, I did, you know, after we shot, because it's so much energy really to just get that, the logistics of it all put together and actually shoot it. Then I sat with it. I was starting to work with an editor and we were looking at it. And then I did kind of go through this weird shame spiral where I thought, oh my God, what did I do to all these people? I made them come to this house and like I'm running around with no clothes on most of the day. And I talked to Jerry, my producer, my friend who was the first AD, and I was saying like, oh no, and I feel bad about this. And she was like, you know, dude, we know you're weird. That's why we like
There
you.
you go.
We were all there for it. That's why we were there. So I think that, you know, you just are who you are. It comes out in your work, and what that's what they knew they were signing up for. That's why they showed up.
Hey, call it what you will. I'm borderline. I'm a podcaster, so yeah, I fit loosely in that world of creative. Dude, it's the old rule coined by the great Erica Badu. You're an artist and you're sensitive about your shit, and you laid it out on the line with this project. And when you have something that close to home, yeah, it would be weird if you didn't second guess a lot of it. Oh my God, there's some scenes in there where I'm sure you had to have that conversation like, oh, we're really doing this, huh? All right, okay. Um, but just looking at this and the result of your work, and the festivals are treating you right, and think about it, like you said, like this community, and I don't want to get in your pockets, but it's like this. You said they funded this, so you had to kind of like submit what you're doing, right?
Oh yeah.
So if I got a couple bucks and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to see this. Yeah, so yeah, people believe in you. That's what it is. Because I'm serious. If asked, oh, I kick out a 20. Just yeah, whatever. Yeah, let's go see it. I want to see this. So yeah, these people do believe in you, and you did make some cool stuff happen. There is a dark part of me that's like, yo, is there a sequel? Because you could kind of sort of without giving too much away, there is avenues to make a sequel. There are several avenues, actually.
You know, I feel like whenever I would tell, kind of before I had a cut to share with anybody, but I would talk about the project, and I normally just say it's about a new dad who turns into a baby. I think most people's reaction, what they see in their head was like this little baby in a suit going to the office. You know, that part of the story, that's not in the short at all. It ends, you know, kind of right where maybe that would take off. And for me, the feature story is basically the same space. It's just kind of more drawn out and more of the actual physical change we get to see. Like, you know, we're working. I mean, we did get funding from the state, but we're still working with a really limited budget. So I really just kind of chose some pieces of what I thought were like scary, physical, cool movie things, and we executed those the best that we could. But you know, Matt, my PR guy that introduced us, he had said he thought about it as a series, like a kind of a limited run series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Which,
because there's so much more you could do with that. Look, okay, there's last time, I promise. There is another scary part that like kicks you into gear. And this is how I'm just gonna word it. The sheet.
oh, my
Yeah,
favorite part.
the sheet, because when you look at that, you like, yo, hold up. Like it all gels together with like oh snap. Yeah, so yeah, just that scene alone, you can spin that off in a different ways because that was like the moment where we was like, oh, all right, okay, all right, this is all right. So I get you in that one scene because that is that crux where it says like we can end this right here and we just got to deal with it, or we can continue on because we still got to worry about the other people in the room. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Because there are other people in the room when that happens. So if that happened to them, oh, you are seeing some gymnastics right here. If that happened to the main character, what about the other people in the room? And why is it happening? So yeah, there's so many different ways to kind of play with that.
Yeah, I got it really quick. Just give a shout out to, you know, that whole sequence. That it did come together, I think, in a nice way in the edit, and there was a plan for it. But really, the actual shooting of it was kind of the end of this day, and Haley, our DP, is just like running around with the camera on this. We pulled the mattress out into the middle of the room, and there were so many people involved to like move the bed sheets around, and you know, it almost was like some puppetry kind of to do that. And also this guy Danny Walfeld out in Seattle, who did our sound design and the mix, like that to me is that sequence comes together because the sound is so cool. It's so cool what he did in the end.
Well, Aaron, I know we're getting up against it. I got one more question. I gotta let you go. I know what you told me. So let's just get into it. I know you're doing the festivals. I know you're doing, and this is the world premiere of Manbaby. I encourage anyone under the sound of my voice who's watching this video, who's listening to the audio version, to go see it. But if you have to ask, let's just be specific right now. What do you want people to take away from this when they watch this film?
You know, I want them to think that my vibe about scary movies is that almost anything can be really scary. Some people are more sensitive, some people are more brave, some people kind of live through life seeking danger and living this really, really amazingly adventurous, seemingly fearless life, but maybe they are scared of things. And the idea with this movie is it bad to be scared of change? Is it bad to be afraid? Is it okay for a man to be really scared or really uncomfortable in a situation where women have been expected to be completely, fearless as mothers for the whole history of the world.
Okay. Okay. And I dig that because um all right, real talk. After this, after I let you go and everything, knowing what I know now, I'll probably go back and watch it again and see if I
You're making me kind of want to watch it again, but
yeah,
I'll wait until Sunday.
see if these thoughts hit because I understand where you're coming from, but maybe that fourth time I could get the whole shebang. I could get the whole thing. But yeah, this is a multiple watch. This is because every time I watch, I had different perspectives. And after speaking with you, I have a whole new one. So I want to see if it sticks. Aaron, this has been a pleasure. Before we get out of here, this is your time right now. I'm just give you the floor. This camera, that mic. Tell us where you're gonna be, your social media stuff, whatever you want. Plug away. Aaron, go ahead.
Follow us at Manbaby Short Film on Instagram. We're on Instagram. We're here in New York this weekend. We're at Dances with Films. I don't know when your episode will air, but this is the first weekend in December. Follow us on Instagram. That's where we'll announce other screenings as we move around the country and the world, hopefully. And just big thank you to Dances with Films for programming us this year, and to my community out there in Montana. Congratulations, guys. Here we are. And Kate and Sierra, Kat, they're coming out here in New York. I'll see you guys when you get here.
Aaron, this has been a pleasure. My man, you are welcome back anytime to talk about whatever project you got. I love just watching this short and seeing you acting previously. I love how your mind works. You're great in front of the camera. You're great behind the camera. You're welcome back anytime you want to talk about whatever.
Thanks, Sam. I'm gonna hit you up when I need $20 for the feature, man.
Hey, I got 20. Man, it is how you want it. Two Hamiltons, a Jackson. What we talking here, man?
Venmo.
All right, but thanks so much, Aaron. We'll holler at you later.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye, Sam.
Bye.